One2Create is a marketing and design agency. I set the company up in 2002. Before that I used to be the head of media at a FTSE 250 company. Decided I wanted to go out on my own, and I started off as a freelancer, which is why the company is called One2Create. So we work with a broad section of customers, from small businesses that are just starting up all the way through to large corporations, providing them with various different designs, both on and offline, also marketing work, SEO, social media content marketing. So we're a full service agency. The reason that we decided to take on apprentices, we'd wanted to take on apprentices for years actually, but we'd found that a big problem was the rural location that we're in, because you have to be able to drive to get here. The public transport, I think, stops about 8 miles away from the building, so it's a bit far away. And we have a junior program that we've been running for years. So having apprentices was a natural thing that we wanted to do. And we tried loads of different apprentice agencies to try to get apprentices, and no one ever managed to find us any. And then we found 3A, and we've got 4. 3A have been fantastic actually. Every single time we've needed to get a candidate, the process is so simple. We've made the phone call, sent over a job spec. They understand what it is we're looking for, and I think the longest it's ever taken us to actually find an apprentice has been about 10 days. So you know, in stark contrast to other apprentice agencies that I'd used before that couldn't find any at all. So yeah, no, they're very good. Yeah, so the first apprentice that we had come in, you know, really hit the ground running with us as an agency. I don't know whether everybody does this or not with apprentices, but we tend to use people on live customer work very quickly, and so people get a chance to be trained, you know, under fire kind of thing. And we've just found it worked really well. One of the things that impressed me the most actually when we were interviewing the first wave of apprentices to hire one, was that the people that were coming in were interviewing just as well, if not better, than people that come in to interview for like ordinary roles within the company. So yeah, it really made a believer out of me. I've been preaching to everybody since starting to use apprentices how good it is to have them, and how beneficial they are to the company, and how you know, they come in and can, you know, contribute straight away. It's not like a case of they come in and, you know, you've got an apprentice and they can't do anything for ages. You know, I think they're great. One of the key things about getting people into the apprentice level is we get a chance to actually train them how to do things the way we want them to be done. So they don't come with preconceived ideas of you know, that they've picked up maybe bad habits from other jobs that they've had. So I think that's been one of the biggest things, because quite often you can hire somebody that's got some experience that maybe has been to university, and they come and they have these preconceived ideas of how to do things that don't mesh with the real world. I think that's one of the biggest things that we've found, especially with people that have come straight out of university, is it's great that the universities teach them the skills to use the software, but then they don't necessarily have any real world experience from a point of view of how long things should take from a deadline perspective. So, you know, really people coming as apprentices, it's no different, if not better, than having someone come in with a university degree, for sure. I met 3A at an event I was at, and like many other apprentice agencies that I've met in the past, they'd spoken to me, told me they could get me apprentices, and I kind of took it with a pinch of salt, because, as I say, we'd had maybe 2 or 3 years of trying to get an apprentice and not being able to. Didn't really think anything more of it, and then they sent me an email, just like a marketing piece, and it was basically showing candidates that they had right now that might be suitable to work with me. And I was kind of looking through the candidate lists and looking at the software skills that they had, and, you know, all of them could use all of the Adobe products, which obviously as an agency we use. You know, that's one of the core pieces of software that we use, is the Adobe Creative Suite. And, you know, the way they presented that to me was like, you know, all of these people on here I'd be interested in meeting and hiring. So yeah, so that's really why, and the fact that they actually delivered as well, because, you know, I know I've said it a few times before, but so many apprentice agencies had said they could get us apprentices and didn't. You know, literally, like, we had one that looked for 6 months and we didn't even get to meet a single person, and we've hired 4, and usually I make a phone call and within a fortnight we've hired somebody and they're already started. So I don't know where they get them from, but they're obviously doing something right that other apprentice agencies aren't. I would absolutely recommend to other businesses to hire apprentices. In fact, I already have, and 3A has actually placed an apprentice with a friend of mine that owns a business, and he's having exactly the same experience as we've had here. He thinks it's the best thing he's done. So yeah, wouldn't hesitate to recommend apprentices.